not panic. Use these doors to exit and assemble on the school ground. We welcome our guest of honor, Mr. KPG Nair, Chairman, Board of Trustees, Kerala Samajam Model School, and the Chief Guest for your welcome to our Veena Banerjee, Mrs. Sujata Singh, Mr. A.N. Abraham to light the ceremonial lamp. May I also request the Vice Principals and Teacher Kakuli and
आरोग्यं धनसविनाशाय दीपज्योति नमोस्तुते कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदा शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय शुभं करोति
I request everyone to rise up.
शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योति नमोस्तुते.
Thank you.
More power.
with us throughout our lives. KSMS, KSMS, KSMS. God bless our alma mater forever. Thank you, everyone. You are requested to take your seats. Your words have the power to mold opinions, influence decisions, and change hearts. Use them wisely. Kerala Samajam Model School is proud to present the annual English Fest, which aims at celebrating a panorama of enlightening events, providing a more holistic approach towards learning the English language and thereby creating higher level of proficiency. From debate to declamation, live reporting to jam, choral recitation to elocution, the fest has it all. At KSMS, we believe in giving equal opportunity to all the students. Hence, auditions were held and finally, the shortlisted students have been given an opportunity to present their oratory skills on the stage. Without any further delay, let us begin with the annual English Fest. Now, I request Rishika to take over.
Speak in such a way that others love to speak to you. Listen in such a way that others love to speak to you. We present before you Declamation for Standard 9 to 10. We welcome the judges, Madam Nandini and Madam Rajan, who will be declaiming Alexander the Great's speech given at the Mutiny of Opus. It is a masterpiece of persuasive rhetoric that inspires his soldiers to continue the conquest and not give up. I also invite Reena ma'am as a judge.
What I'm about to say isn't meant to stop you returning home. As far as I care, you could go wherever you wish. But I want you to know how you have behaved towards me and how I have treated you. I'll begin, as is right, with my father, Philip. When he first found you, you were mere peasants, wearing hides, tending a few sheep on the mountain slopes, and you could barely defend them from your neighbors. Under him, you began living in cities with good laws and customs, and he turned you from slaves to rulers over those very barbarians who used to plunder your land. He conquered most of Thrace, taking the best harbors so there was trade and prosperity, and put those minds to steady work. The Thessalians, they used to terrify you. Well, we rule them now. The Athenians and Thebanes, always looking for a chance to attack Macedonia, were so humbled that they no longer take tribute from Macedonia. Instead, depend upon us for their protection. My father went to the Peloponnese and put their house in order. And then he was declared the supreme commander of all the Greeks for the campaign against the Persians. An honor not just for himself, but for all Macedonians. This is what my father Philip did for you. Great enough on its own, but small compared to what you have gained from me. I crossed the Hellespont, even though back then the Persians commanded over the sea. I defeated the satraps of the great King Darius and made you rulers of Ionia, Aeolus, Phrygia, and Lydia, and took Miletus by siege. The rest of the land surrendered willingly, and their wealth became yours. All the riches of Egypt and Cyrene, which I won without a fight, are yours now. Syria, Palestine, Mesopotamia, Babylonia, all belong to you. The wealth of Lydia, the treasures of Persia, the jewels of India and the outer sea. You are no satraps. You are generals and captains. What have I held back for myself apart from this purple cloak and diadem? Nothing. And what would I do with them anyway? I eat what you eat. I get no more rest than you. Many times I've kept the night on watch so you could sleep soundly. Come on, if you've got scars and stripes, then show them to me. I'll show you mine. There's not a single part of my body, the friend at least, that doesn't bear a wound. All for the sake of your lives, your glory and your wealth. And yet I am here still, leading you as conqueror. And now, I wanted to send back some of you home, who've been wounded or crippled or have grown old, to be welcomed back home as heroes. But since all of you wish to go home, then none of you go. When you get home, tell them that when you made it back to Susa, you abandoned him, leaving him under the foreigners you'd conquered. Perhaps this report of yours will seem glorious in the eyes of men and worthy in the eyes of the gods. Be gone!
Well done, Kavya. Greta Thunberg is a Swedish environmental activist who has worked to address the problem of climate change. She opened her speech to the General Assembly with an impassioned introduction, which was widely covered by the media. This is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. Speech by Greta Thunberg, presented by Ritika Singh of Standard 10B.
This is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school on the other side of the ocean. Yet, you come to us, young people, for hope. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams, my childhood with your empty words. Yet, I'm one of the lucky ones. People are suffering. People are dying. The entire ecosystem is collapsing. We are in the beginning of mass extinction. For all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you? For more than 30 years, the science has been crystal clear. How dare you continue to look away and come here saying that you are doing enough? When the politics and solutions needed are still nowhere in sight. You say you hear us, and that you understand the urgency. But no matter how sad or angry I am, I do not want to believe that. Because if you really understood the situation and still kept on failing to act, then you would be an evil. And that I refuse to believe. The popular idea of cutting our emissions in half in 10 years only gives us a 50% chance of staying below 1.5 degrees of risk, setting an irreversible chain reaction beyond the human control. 50%. 50% may be acceptable to you. But those numbers do not include the tipping point, the most feedback loops. Additional warming hidden by toxic air pollution, all aspects of equity and climate justice. They also rely on my generation, sucking hundreds of billions of tons of your CO2 out of the air with the technologies that barely exist. So a 50% risk is simply not acceptable to us. We who live with the consequences. How dare you pretend that this can be solved with just business as usual or with some technical solutions? With today's emissions level, the remaining CO2 budget will be entirely gone within less than 8.5 years. And there will be no plans and solutions left with these figures here today. Because these numbers are too uncomfortable. And you are still not matured enough to tell it like it is. You are failing us. But the young people are starting to understand your betrayal. The eyes of all the future generations are upon you. And if you choose to fail us, then I say, we will never forgive you. Right now, right here, is where we draw the line. The world is waking up and the change is coming. Whether you like it or not. Thank you.
What a wonderful performance. Thank you, Ritika. Next we have Rishi Seth of Standard 10A who will declaim Nishit Kumar's speech Examination Hall. Nishit Kumar is a content writer, finance specialist and the winner of Toastmasters Humorous Speech Contest. The speech is a humorous account of the plight of a student answering his exams.
Children, write your exams, shouted Miss Jackson, the invigilator for my standard 10 maths exam. Generally for me, exams are really simple. If they give me questions I don't know, I'll give them answers they don't know. But children, write your exams, shouted Miss Jackson, the invigilator for my standard 10 maths exam. Generally for me, exams are really simple. If they give me questions I don't know, I'll give them answers they don't know. But it will be different this time. I wasn't prepared at all. Good morning, one and all. My exam was about to begin. I folded my hands, closed my eyes and started praying. By the time I opened my eyes, Miss Jackson was already at my desk with the question paper. I hesitated to take it, but she insisted. With shivering hands, I took the question paper. But she had an evil smile on her face. And why not? I have disturbed the class with weird sounds of cows, goats, zebras and whatnot. I don't even know what a zebra sounds like, but did it just for fun. And now, it's time for her to take revenge. Question paper was at my desk. I started scanning it with one eye open. And by the time I reached the last page, both my eyes were wide open. I knew I was finished. I was very certain that I was going to be a changed man from the next semester. I would start preparing, and for the next 3 months, there will be rigorous practice, and then no one can stop me from being the topper of my class. I looked to my extreme left, and there she is, this sweet little girl, Deepika. She has been the topper for the past 4 years. She flaunts that the sum total of all my 3 best friends, including me, is less than hers. She doesn't know what's coming to her. I feel pity for her. But that's how life is. Harsh, cruel, full of surprises. Wait a minute. She's using a calculator? Is there anything that needs a calculator? I have a calculator. I can make use of it if I know how to. That brought my attention completely back to the question paper. I wrote something I knew, copied some formulas irrelevant to the question paper. And when nothing worked, I copied the questions. This would hardly fetch me 20 marks. I still need 13 more marks to pass. Something really horrifying happened to the class. "May I have an extra sheet of paper, ma'am?" shouted the peacock. Everyone stared at her while she walked proudly on that imaginary red carpet. That's how life is. Harsh, cruel, full of surprises. It is said that in an exam, students look up for inspiration, down in desperation, and left and right for information. I knew gathering more information was the only way to pass, which some may call cheating, individual perspective. I looked to my right, and there they sit Sandeep, Mandeep, and Gundeep staring at me. I shattered their dreams by showing my empty answer sheet. I turned to my front, and there he is, the mighty Vishal. And so I lost connection from the entire front row. I looked to my left, and there he is, Amit, the son of the maths teacher of our school. He may surely know the answer. I whispered, "Question 3, section 2. Question 3, section 2. He ignored me and kept writing. I didn't realize that while I played those dirty tricks, Miss Jackson was standing right behind me. I was immediately transferred to the front, completely isolated from the entire class. The moment of that exam can be described in a few words. It was tick-tock, mind-block, pen-stop, jaw-drop, no luck, time's up. Friends, this beautiful morning, I don't want to discuss about my marks. The horrors of that exam stayed with me for a while. But one lesson that I learned that day was whether it's a test of life or of school, you need to be prepared beforehand, proactively. Thank you so much.
That was indeed entertaining. Thank you, Rishi. Thank you, participants. We now move on to declamation for Standard 11 and 12. We have Ariba of Standard 12A who will declaim NDP Pursuit of Perfection by Iskra Lawrence. Iskra Lawrence is a British model, world-renowned fitness enthusiast, influencer, and ambassador of the National Eating Disorders Association. She inspires women around the world to not be afraid to stand out.
It's kind of funny because my speech actually starts with, "We have a problem." We mean it did because I just had hiccups and they were quite violent. So luckily, we all are good now, so I can start. We do have a problem though, and that is the most important relationship we have in our lives is the one we have with ourselves and we are not taught about it. I want to challenge you to think about if we were taught how to look after ourselves using self-care, could we help enrich our lives, make us happier, combat our insecurities, and enable us to reach our full potential? For example, have you ever blamed your body? "Oh my God, that dress is so cute. I can't wear it. I have walls." I know why he didn't call me back, because I put on 10 pounds last week. Damn those photos. And the thing is, body image is often associated with teenage girls, but in fact, men and boys are affected too. So many guys now are going to the gym and they're even abusing steroids. Maybe the selfies would get more likes if they had a six-pack of abs and not beer. I know, when I was younger, I would look into that mirror every single day and hate what I saw. why don't I have a thigh gap? Why does it look like that this thigh ate the other one? More pimples? Are you kidding me? I hate myself. And that's so sad because I can't get those years back of self-loathing, calorie obsession, and jealousy. It's crazy these days. We have so many pressures and now we have social media. With the rise of social media, we literally have a weapon of mass destruction to our self-esteem 24/7. You guys who consume social media, have you ever lost 1, 2, or maybe even 3 hours of your life deep into someone's profile? Yeah? Thinking, oh wow, look, they are so in love. They are going to all these amazing holidays. They have this dream job, they have this perfect life. Why isn't my life like that? The scary thing is, that's not real. Social media is a curated, filtered, often airbrushed, and sometimes even lifestyle illusion. That is why we need to be taught about it. I recently was trained by the National Eating Disorders Association of the US, who I'm an ambassador for in something called the Body Project. And the main concept we teach is the beauty ideal myth. We get all the kids to have magazines and then to pick out the perfect body. So what's the perfect body then? Well, it's tall, it's tan, it's straight hair, no flaws. Is that real? No. Is that achievable? No. So what are the costs and sacrifices for you to try and attain this? It's so detrimental to your physical and mental health. And guess what? Who wins from this battle? The brands, the magazines, and the pharmaceutical industries. And who loses? We lose. So we need to embrace our bodies more than that. We need to stop trying to attain perfection because we are good enough already. Speak to your body in a loving way. That's the only thing you've got. If you see anyone tearing themselves down, bring them back up and watch your life positively grow as you give up the pursuit of perfection. Because the real beauty ideal is being the imperfect you. Thank you so much, everyone.
Great job, Ariva. Next we have Stuti of Standard 12B, who will declaim a piece on Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. The following speech was given by her on 23rd of July as a response to Representative Ted Yoho's abusive remarks made against her in public, which were televised later.
I do not need Representative Yoho to apologize to me. Clearly, he does not want to. Clearly, when given the opportunity, he will not. And I will not stay up late at night waiting for an apology from a man who has no remorse over calling women and using abusive language towards women. But what I do have an issue with is using women, our wives and daughters, as shields and excuses for poor behavior. Mr. Yoho mentioned he had a wife and 2 daughters. I am 2 years younger than Mr. Yoho's youngest daughter. I am someone's daughter too. My father, thankfully, was not alive to see how Mr. Yoho treated his daughter. My mother had to witness Mr. Yoho's disrespect on the floor of this house towards me on television. And I am here because I have to show my parents that I am their daughter and that they did not raise me to accept abuse from men. Now, what I am here to say is that this home that Mr. Yoho Levite, it tried to levi against you was not just an incident directed at me, but when you do that, what Mr. Yoho did was give permission to other men to do that to his daughters. In using that language in front of the press, Mr. Yoho gave permission to use that language against his wife, his daughters, women in his community. And I am here to stand up to say that is not okay. It does not matter what your views are, or how much I disagree, or how much it incenses me, or how I feel that people are dehumanizing others. I will not do that to myself. I will not allow people to change and create hatred in our hearts. And so, what I did, having a daughter does not make a decent man. Having a wife does not make a man decent. Treating people with the dignity and respect makes a decent man. And when a decent man messes up, as all of us are bound to do, he apologizes. Not to save face, not to win a vote. He apologizes, genuinely, to acknowledge and repair the harm done so that we can all move on. Lastly, what I want to express to Mr. Yoho is gratitude. I want to thank him for showing the world that you can be a powerful man and accost women. You can have a daughter and accost women. You can be married and accost women. You can take photos and project an image to the world of being a family man and accost women. It happens every day. It happens here on the steps of our capital. It happens when people in the highest position of power admit to hurting women. Thank you.
Stand-up comedian and a motivational speaker.
Have you ever tried to be a superhero in your life? Has your wife ever questioned you? Who do you think you are? Madam, have you ever tried to be smart and brave and amazing? Has anyone walked up to you and said, who do you think you are? This intimidating question, who do you think you are, has been the reason behind our failures. And yet recently, the reason behind my success. Let me tell you, when I was 6 years old, I was cute, and I was talkative, and that was a bad combination for my mother. There was just one thing she asked me to do, keep quiet. Now forgetting this golden rule at a gala dinner, she went and sat on the right end of the table. After the salads were served, I looked at my daddy's plate, I looked at mom, again looked at daddy's plate, again looked at mom. Say mommy, say yes, catty Tom. Honey, you need to speak up, I can't hear you. Can you eat caterpillars? Daddy is eating something like caterpillars. My mom's face flushed with anger. She got up from her seat, came up to me, apologized, took me to a corner and said, who do you think you are? To which I replied, no, mommy, it's how I wonder what you are. Punishment wasn't much, but the message was deep. To speak the truth, you needed an age, and 6 wasn't it. When I was 16, I was traveling with my grandmother in a taxi. Once we reached the destination, the taxi driver said, and now will be $32, madam. And I took out a $50 bill and gave it to him, to which he politely replied, sorry, madam, I don't have change. And I looked at him and said, it's okay, you can keep the change. And I got out from the taxi to look at my grandmother's face, which looked something like this. Did you just get an $18 tip for a $32 ride? And who do you think you are? And I looked at my grandmother and said, Grandma, let's just think of it as charity. Charity? An imbecile who does not even know the value of money is trying my charity? 5 years fast forward. I was a reserved chorister. On the day of the main event, this opening soloist collapses. And this British choir director says, "Would you take up? Could you sing? I've tried 100 voices and none of you? This is ridiculous." And I knew this was my chance. So I went to her and said, "Madam, may I?" You should have seen the look on her face. What did a reserved chorister to open a show I put my heart and blood and soul into? And I told her, "Madam, we have 5 minutes and one choice." So I took the mic and went to the center of the stage. I closed my eyes and started singing. Once I opened my eyes to a standing ovation. So ladies and gentlemen, each and every one of you is unique. So whenever someone questions you, "Hey, who do you think you are?" look them confidently in their eyes and say, "Someone better than yesterday. Someone you haven't met yet." Thank you. What an excellent performance. Thank you, participants. Dance isn't just a form, it's a way of life. The students of standards 5 to 7 will
was a ship that put to sea. The name of the ship was a Bobby O.T. The winds blew up her bow, up down below my boy, boy, boy. Steam up to east from shore and down on the right way aboard. The captain called all hands and swore he'd take down a whaling tow. The wellerman comes to bring the
have 4 participants for this event. The first speaker upon the stage is Gayatri Dilip of Standard 12A speaking for the motion.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I'll be arguing for the motion. Honesty is a waste of time in the modern world. While honesty is undoubtedly a valuable virtue, arguing that it's a waste of time in the modern world can be approached from the perspective that it might not always yield immediate or tangible benefits. In today's fast-paced and competitive environment, individuals often find themselves navigating complex social, economic, and professional situations where honesty might not always be the most strategic approach. In certain instances, being brutally honest could potentially lead to misunderstandings, conflicts, or even hinder progress. They say, when in Rome, dress like Romans. In today's era, honesty is not any policy, but a sheer business. You receive just the exact percentage for what you toss. So vital information is traded and twisted as per one's own convenience and capabilities. General mass is way too practical and cutthroat. Money rules the roost nowadays. All rests in peace in the backyard. By the time honest and methodical people understand the worldly mechanisms, major businesses are already and briskly dealt with. Honesty is not any policy, it's a kind of meditation, way of life, and attitude in today's world. This is no Ramrajya or Satyug to follow thy principles. Let me tell you an incident from our history of Raja Harish Chandra. Raja Harish Chandra of the Solar dynasty had also faced a lot of difficulties on the account of being honest, enough to fulfill his promises made to sage Vishwamitra. He had to give away his kingdom and sell his family, and he himself became a slave for being honest. In Mahabharata, while playing the game of dice with Shakuni, if Yudhishthir had realized that it was not the correct time to be honest, then he would have never put his brothers and wife on stake. Also during Chirharan, if Bhishma had realized that it was not the correct time to be self-righteous, then he would have opposed Duryodhana. Thus, too much honesty and righteousness at the wrong time has always led people into trouble. Lord Krishna manipulated Arjuna as he felt that the trick of manipulation could establish dharma. Then there is nothing wrong in being dishonest. Very much mechanized, tech-savvy, progressive, the process-oriented has the least to do with refinement, grounded behavior, deep-rooted values, and attitude of gratitude as a matter of fact. Time is money is no more the penmanship caption. It's equated to divine order. To keep minting, one must ace to race on all costs. So surrendering with much honesty before you all and keep bending like Vechkam. Here's Gayatri signing off as a proud speaker for the motion. Any rebuttal questions?
Well spoken, Gayatri. I have a question for you.
Yes, Shreya.
So you said that we learn from our ancient times and history. And if I'm not wrong, we all celebrated our 77th independence this year. And whenever we talk about independence, the biggest name that emerges in front of us is of Mahatma Gandhi, the man who strictly followed the principle of honesty and non-violence. He also led numerous movements based on these principles, such as Satyagraha movement or Quit India movement, which ultimately led to our freedom. So, Gayatri, how can you say that honesty is a waste of time when you yourself is standing there freely expressing your views and we audience are sitting here free from the British rule just because of a man who followed the path of honesty?
Thank you, Shreya, for your question. So she asked that Mahatma Gandhi followed honesty, but in Mahabharata, they all followed dishonesty and they all were cunning. So it's a historical myth and no one can change. And the present generation has only learned from these legends that being dishonest will pauper and take everything away from their life. Thank you.
Thank you, Gayatri. Coming up next is Stuti Singh of Standard 12B speaking against the motion.
Merriam-Webster describes this as the quality of being fair and truthful. It implies a refusal to lie, cheat, steal, or deceive in any way. Honesty is everywhere. We'd only think to question it when it appears in certain dramatic contexts. Good morning to one and all. I am Stuti Singh, and I will be speaking against the motion. Honesty is not a waste of time in the modern world. There's a Taoist saying that no one can lie. They can try to, but the truth is always revealed in the purpose for which they make their statement. For instance, business people do tell themselves that in the long run, they will do good by doing well, which is by lying, deceiving, or by being dishonest. Honesty cultivates trust, and this conviction leads to formation of distrust between the most significant people in our economic community, the producers, the sellers, and the consumers. Honesty promotes integrity and ethical behavior. Without moral values and without a basic preference for right over wrong, our society would crumble in the face of temptation. Honesty is not only limited to being truthful, it is also about being real with oneself and others concerning who you are and what you want. For example, students' honesty breaks down barriers, encourages transparency, and aids in the development of consistency in our actions and the way we convey information. It improves our clarity in viewing everything around us. Honesty is the foundation on which strong, lasting relationships are built that can withstand everything. Let's take an example. Online participants in a study by Christopher Bryan had to flip a coin 10 times, knowing they would be paid $1 for each head. The average performance was 6.22 heads. Well, above charts. The same study reconducted with another group of participants who clearly warned to please not cheat and report that one of your coins landed heads when they really landed tails, as even a small amount of cheating would undermine the study. The result was still 6.13. This blatant display of dishonesty and treachery is relevant to the recent replication crisis, fraudulent data, and innumerable upcoming cases of scams and frauds. It is often believed that little acts of honesty go unnoticed to the common eye, which is one of the most common reasons why people choose to resort to dishonest ways. Well, I would like to contradict this notion by stating the fact that here at Kerala Samajam, that stands as the root of our development, we have always been encouraged to do the right thing. Do you remember being in second grade and mounting the stairs of the semicircular stage when Madam Nishi would call out your name during the assembly for honestly returning the lost and found money? And do you remember sitting in an invigilator-less examination hall that Kerala Samajam is so popular for? These little initiatives serve as the building blocks of establishing a sense of righteousness within ourselves and helping us learn how profound little acts of honesty are in our daily lives. In certain contexts where you're not sure what or whom to believe, where dishonesty has become a habit, perhaps institutionalized in certain organizational practices, you will be surprised to know how profound and influential little acts of honesty are. Thank you. Any questions?
Well spoken, Stuti. I have a question for you. You told that honesty is not limited. So in institutions, the management and the faculty are biased. So how can you say honesty plays a role here?
Thank you for the question, Gayatri. I feel the need to clarify the fact that she just strengthened my point by saying in certain organizations where faculties and teachers and staffs or anyone is biased, it promotes inequality. It establishes the fact that in all organizational practices we need to be honest. By mentioning that there are organizations or institutions where the faculty is dishonest, we strengthen the fact that the students or the members of the faculty need to rethink their own ideas, because honesty establishes an innate sense of humanness within us. Without this, we would be nowhere. Do we not all deserve a platform where we are treated equally and with honesty, created on our performance and intellect? Thank you.
Thank you, Stuti. Up next is Shlok Agarwal of 9B. He will speak in favor of the motion.
Good morning everyone, I am Shlok Agarwal of Standard 9 and I am going to speak for the topic. I do believe honesty is the waste of time in this modern world. Why do you think I believe so? Now, I believe so because we humans have the tendency to wear a mask, hide our true self and depict a perfect image in front of the world. For example, a politician who before an upcoming election comes before the people of the country and make many promises to convince the people that they will give their best to serve the people. But how often are these promises fulfilled? Another example are the advertisements that we often see. Most of the time, the advertisement that we see might not be this actual product what they are showing. Like a dish shown during an advertisement might not be as delicious as it seems to be. The food shown to be wholesome and delicious just to influence the people to buy that product. For advertisement companies, lying is a way of life. Do you all know Edward Snowden? Okay, let me tell you. He was the former employee at Central Intelligence Agency and National Security Agency of USA. He exposed that NSA was collecting massive amount of data on an individual without their consent, which raised serious and legal ethical concerns. For showing honesty towards people, he faced charges of espionage and he had to seek to asylum in Russia to avoid prosecution in United States. Martin Luther King Jr., what a man he was. He was a true martyr. His honesty about civil rights and racial equality led to his arrest multiple times, public backlash and threat to his safety. Then why honesty? Isn't it that honesty is a waste of time? As a teenager, I have seen many people getting bullied for simply being who they are. Commonly the nerds who are bullied by other students for preferring to study rather than socializing. Most of them get depressed and most of them pretend to be someone else just to try and fit with everyone. Not only teenagers, but people of all ages to try and fit with everyone, pretend to be someone they are not. People prefer to lie rather than being honest because for them, honesty is not more important than their loved ones. During a trial, in most of the crime during the trial, testimony given by the eyewitnesses rather prefer to lie than being honest because for them, justice being honestly delivered is not the priority. Think what tedious years of thought, study, experience went to the equipment of the old peerless master who was able to impose upon the whole world the sounding and lofty maxim that truth is mighty and will prevail. The most majestic compound fracture of the fact that any woman born has yet achieved. For the history of our race and individual concern are sworn thick with evidences that the truth is not hard to kill and the lie well told is immortal. There is in Boston a monument built by a man who discovered anesthesia. Many people in this latter days believe that he stole the discovery from another man. Is this truth mighty and will it prevail? I leave it to your good judgment to think it over. Thank you and have a good day. Any rebuttal questions?
Well spoken, Shlok. I have a question for you. But before I ask my question, I want to establish the fact that Shlok mentioned something along the lines of Martin Jr. King Luther's honesty leading to his downfall. I would like everyone to know that his beliefs incited racial equality amongst everyone, and that without him starting the civil rights movement, racism would still be extremely prevalent in our society. Now for my question. Shlok, don't you think our conscience comes into play when we talk about the quality of honesty? And if so, should we just conduct ourselves so we can fit in and have no principles?
Okay. First, I would like to answer that you said Martin Luther King Jr. My perspective was to tell that despite of taking part in civil rights and racial equality, he has a threat to his safety. Public were not liking him, despite that he was doing good for people. So he has to face so much because of honesty. My point of view was that. And your questions that we should have principles, yes. But in this modern time, I want to know that how many times if we are honest, our honesty works. Like I gave you an example of a politician. If elections are coming and politicians go via the whole area and ask that give me one vote, I will do this for you, I will do that for you. But how often do they do that? How often? And in the end, we criticize them, oh, they said this, but now they are not doing. So yes, we should have principles, but it's not like that dishonesty is every time. Like, we should be honest, yes, obviously, but dishonesty in some parts may work. Thank you.
Thank you, Shlok. The final speaker, Shreya Agarwal of 12C, will be speaking against the motion.
Since childhood in school, we have been taught that honesty is the best policy. See, isn't this ironic that today we have been given the topic, honesty is a waste of time in the modern world. Anyways, let's proceed. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is my topic for today, and I will argue against this notion, asserting that honesty remains a fundamental virtue that is essential for personal growth, trust building, and fostering strong relationships in the contemporary society. Honesty is a bedrock of trust, which is indispensable in any community or organization. Trust is the glue that holds societies together, and without it, cooperation and collaboration becomes extremely difficult. We all know that in the business world, dishonesty leads to financial fraud, loss of investor confidence, and damage to a company's reputation. On the other hand, honesty in business practices builds customer loyalty and ensures long-term success. Our school has always encouraged honesty. Let me take you back to the old times when Rishi ma'am used to give us chocolates on returning her the lost items honestly. This proves that honesty is always valued and rewarded.
honesty is also vital for personal growth and self-development. When we are honest with ourselves, we can identify our strengths and weaknesses, leading to self-development. Students, I ask you, you cheat in exams and may achieve short-term success, but don't you think that you always miss out on the opportunity to learn and develop new and valuable skills? Have you ever wondered how this cheating and this dishonest practice can hamper your future prospects? Well, think about it. Moreover, honesty fosters authenticity in our interactions with others. When we are truthful with our feelings and intentions, we allow others to understand us better and reciprocate with their genuine selves. For instance, in romantic relationships, dishonesty leads to broken trust and emotional distance, whereas honesty can strengthen the emotional connection and build a lasting partnership. I bought this, I bought that, I'll do this, I'll do that. Oh, have you ever noticed that we never like someone who keeps posting about things that are not true? What does this prove? This proves that dishonest people are never liked or valued. Honesty is also crucial for promoting justice and fairness. A culture of honesty encourages people to speak up against discrimination, corruption, and other forms of wrongdoing. For instance, police plays a vital role in preventing crimes and keeping a check on several illegal practices. But can you ever imagine how the law system of the country would collapse and how many social injustices would creep into the society if they are not honest? We all know Nelson Mandela, the former president of South Africa. Throughout his political career, he demonstrated unwavering honesty and integrity even during challenging times. His commitment to moral responsibility and honesty allowed him to lead his country towards a path of positive change and greater good. His actions and principles earned him respect internationally, making him an iconic figure for embodying the importance of honesty in politics. Thus we can say that honesty inculcates a sense of integrity. Upholding honesty as a core value helps individuals to act in ways that aligns with their principles even during challenging times. In conclusion, I would say that honesty, far from being a waste of time, is an invaluable virtue that underpins the very fabric of our modern era. Embracing honesty not only benefits individuals, but also contributes to the overall well-being of the whole society. Lastly, to quote from Mundaka Upanishad, Satyamed Jayate, that means honesty alone triumphs. Therefore, be honest, be truthful, be upright to succeed in life. Thank you. Any questions?
Well spoken, Shreya. I have a question for you. You talked about social media that we post, that if someone posts dishonest, we don't like that person and we say something. And so, but still, we like that post and we resend it, that see, we have sent this post, and we laugh at that post. So, what would you say about that?
Firstly, Shlok, I think this is out of my content because I never spoke about social media. But to answer your question, the moment we get to know the real face of that celebrity, we don't like them. We always laugh about them, that they were faking in front of us. You don't need to fake yourself in front of the world. You are unique. You should be honest and pose the true self in front of the society, and then only you will be loved and valued. Honesty always matters. Thank you.
Thank you, participants.
William Shakespeare was an English playwright, poet, and actor. He is widely regarded as the greatest writer in the English language and the world's preeminent dramatist. To pay homage to this celebrated playwright, the students are going to walk the rank, portraying 4 of his famous plays. These plays are also a part of the CICSE curriculum, studied by the students of the classes 9 to 12. I also request Teacher Kakuli to join the judges.
All time. Shakespeare occupies a position unique in world literature. He is accompanied by the protagonists of his different plays. First comes Antonio from The Merchant of Venice. Julius Caesar. The brave Scottish general Macbeth, again from a tragedy, Macbeth. And Prospero from The Tempest.
Although classified as a comedy in the first folio and sharing certain aspects with Shakespeare's other romantic comedies, the play is most remembered for its dramatic scenes, and it is best known for the character Shylock and his famous demand for a pound of flesh in retribution. Antonio, the merchant, whose love for his friend Bassanio prompts him to sign Shylock's contract and almost lose his life. Bassanio, the gentleman of Venice. Shylock, a Jewish moneylender in Venice, angered by his mistreatment at the hands of Venice Christians, particularly Antonio. Shylock aims to eke out his revenge by ruthlessly demanding as payment a pound of Antonio's flesh. Antonio, a merchant whose love for his friend Bassanio prompts him to sign Shylock's contract and almost lose his life. Portia, a wealthy heiress from Belmont. Portia's beauty is matched only by her intelligence.
performed in 1599. It is one of a few plays composed by Shakespeare on a genuine event from Roman history. In the play, Brutus joins a conspiracy led by Cassius to assassinate Julius Caesar, to prevent him from becoming a tyrant. Casca, the senator.
by William Shakespeare. It is thought to have been first performed in 1606. It dramatizes the damaging physical and psychological effects of political ambition on those who seek power. It is Shakespeare's shortest tragedy. Soldier and a powerful man, but not a virtuous one. Lady Macbeth, Macbeth's wife, a deeply ambitious woman who lusts for power and position. Banquo, the brave and noble general. King Duncan, the good king of Scotland. Against Macbeth using charms, spells, and prophecies.
Thou shalt be king hereafter. Lesser than Macbeth and greater. Not so happy, yet much happier. Thou shalt get kings, though thou be none. So all hail, Macbeth and Banquo. Banquo and Macbeth, all hail.
This castle hath a pleasant seat. The air nimbly and sweetly recommends itself to our gentle sense. I go, and it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell which summons thee to heaven or to hell.
Now, King, Connor, Glamis, all as the we have been promised. And I fear thou face no foul for it.
Here's the smell of the blood still. All the perfumes of a radio will not sweet as this little hand.
I bear a charmed life, and must not yield to one of woman born. Macduff was from his mother's womb, untimely ripped.
1610 to 1611 and thought to be one of the last plays that he wrote alone. The play contains music and songs that evoke the spirit of enchantment on the island. It explores many themes including betrayal, revenge, magic and family. Creature who lives on the island. Next with us we have Ariel, a spirit of air who is the only inhabitant of the island. Compassionate. She is also obedient to her father and is described as perfect and fearless. Following Miranda comes Ferdinand, who is an honest son and will make a loving husband to Miranda. Last but not the least comes Prospero, the protagonist and the main character in the story, who functions as a god, manipulating everyone within his reach.
to ride on the curled clouds, to thy strong bidding, task Ariel and all his quality.
can't do. As ere my mother brushed with raven's feather from unwholesome fin drop on you both. A southwest blow on ye, and blister you all.
And your affection not gone forth, I'll make you the Queen of Naples.
Soft, sir, one word more. They are both in either's powers. But this swift business I must uneasy make, lest too light winning make the prize light. Come, follow.
Father!
Speak not for him.
This is the narrator Hara signing off.
In the English language, and his works continue to be studied and reinterpreted. That was indeed mesmerizing. Thank you, participants. I also thank our honorable judges for taking out time for us from their busy schedules. I request Madam Rajan to hand over a token of thanks to our honorable judges.
Conniving sort of a look on a face, planning, scheming.
Children, may I have your attention, please? A very good morning to our chairman, sir, Mr. KPG Nair, Vice Principal, Mr. Rajan Kaur, Mr. Abraham and Mr. Jata, Reena Banerjee, all the teachers who are present here, all the parents who've come so early in the morning to witness this fest which we have, which is an annual event for us, and to all the students and participants who've been a part of this program, practicing whenever you got the time. A very good morning to each one of you. It's been a pleasure to be here to witness this two-day English fest. Yesterday we had it for the pre-primary students. Some events were conducted yesterday in the second half, and today we has produced. So my compliments to the HOD of the English department, Mrs. Kakuli Datta, the in-charge, Mrs. Sharanpreet Kaur, all the teachers of the English department, and the leader of them all, who also teaches English, is the Vice Principal of the school, Mrs. Reena Banerjee. Compliments to all of you for doing an excellent job of putting up such a variety of events for a very mundane name called the English Fest. We didn't know that English Fest could become so active and so alive on stage, and the children have put in their best. So I would like to talk about the declamation first. For the event declamation, I must compliment the students, the 6 students who went up on stage for the memory, because neither of them, not one of them, forgot a single word or a single line. The second point that I want to raise is the choice of the choice for the declamation. Very different, very apt in today's world, and the perspective from a student's point of view when he or she goes to answer an examination. There were children who talked about the environment, there were children who talked about women's rights, and there were students who spoke about the Alexander the Great, who is a historical character We all have learned and read about him in our history, as well as seen movies related to him. Children, all of you did an excellent job, but somewhere somebody has to win. But coming up on stage and facing the audience is an achievement in itself. So even if you don't win, I think the performance was superior, the performance was unparalleled, and therefore a huge compliment to all of you for putting up such a great show. Children, when you come up on stage, right from the time you get up from your seat or you enter from the wings, you give us some message. So when I'm saying us, I mean the judges. So when we are watching you, we are looking at your confidence, the way you're walking onto the stage, the way you stand, the way you emote, especially if it's a declamation, the way you speak when you're a participant in a debate. Now, debate is actually talking to an audience. Debate means you say your point of view, you make it emphatic, so that the other person is convinced to believe that what you say is actually what is right. And then, when you are the second speaker, you must always take a point from what the person before you has said and address it in your speech, because you are talking to the audience. Debate is like an argument. You have to put your point across. And always, these were some of the areas that I thought could be improved upon, and always make a reference to anything which is common in daily life which the audience can understand. Then only they will be a part of your team and will support your point that you are putting across. However, all the children on stage did a good job, because I know it's very difficult to sit on the stage under the arc lights and speak to an audience. The hall is full, and I must appreciate the effort once again put in by the parents. So to make the English Fest a little light, the dancers came on stage and all of them entertained you well. I think all of you got a good break from the heavy stuff that came before. The visual impact that we all saw yesterday as well as today was done splendidly, and my compliments to the IT coordinators, Kritika and Pragati, for doing an excellent job as IT coordinators. I think if you stand up, maybe everybody can see you. Well done, children. There was no technological glitch. We always blame everything on technology, but today they proved it that it could be smooth and without any untoward event that could have been anticipated. Thank you. And last but not the least, the ramp walk. It was a depiction of 4 plays, and for the audience, some of these plays are also taught in school in classes 9, 10, 11 and 12. Children try to bring out the character that they have only read in the books by Shakespeare, written by Shakespeare, and I think putting everything in a nutshell must have been very difficult for the teachers as well as the students, because you are conveying something in those 2.5 minutes to the audience who probably has not read all the 4 plays. I have not, as a student in school, I had done 2 plays of Shakespeare, but none of them were the ones which were depicted here. So my understanding depended only on what was depicted and on the pictures that were shown in the background. And children, let me tell you, without actually saying the entire, without actually playing the role in totality, you still were able to convey everything, and that's called a summary. So you summarized it well, and so I was actually verifying with Reena ma'am whether what I understood was correctly interpreted or not. And I'm sure if I could do it, the entire audience must have understood it also. So thank you so much. I'm glad I came here, and thank you for inviting me to be the judge for this prestigious event. And my compliments to the entire English department for doing an excellent job. And to all the parents, you also must have put in a lot of effort to make sure that your children got the right costume, that you helped them to rehearse at home, and in many different ways. Bringing them to school or taking them away and they had a practice beyond school hours. And to all the teachers, whatever I say, I will certainly fall short of words, but you've done an excellent job and you've brought alive the subject English in the school. So thank you for that. And children, from tomorrow, I don't think there'll be any student here who will say that they appreciate other subjects because they used to always keep English at the second position. But I am sure for all of you, it's going to be top class from now on. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the program.
Parvati to hand over a token of appreciation to Rajan ma'am. Red Cat by Karen and Duffy. The poem alludes to the tale of Little Red Riding Hood, in which a young girl is hoodwinked and eaten by a wolf. This story is often understood as a metaphor for loss of innocence. is a simple, fun-filled poem that talks about the love between an owl and a pussycat and their subsequent marriage. The theme of this poem is the generation gap between an experienced person and an arrogant son.
Old Father William, you are old, Father William, the young man said, and your hair has become very white, and yet you instantly stand on your head. Do you think at your age it is right? In my youth, Father William replied to his event, Elocution. The judges for the event are Teacher Indu and Teacher Satindra. And Teacher Reema. Who will be reciting the poem, The Walrus and the Carpenter. The Walrus and the Carpenter is a narrative poem by Lewis Carroll that contains the unusual story of a walk down the beach and the characters that take it.
Shining on the sea, shining with all his might, he did his very best to make the billows smooth and bright. And this was all because it was the middle of the night. The moon was shining slightly because she thought the sun had got no business to be there after the day was done. It's very rude of him, she said, to come and spoil the fun. The sea was wet as wet could be. The sands were dry as dry. You could not see a cloud because no cloud was in the sky. No birds were flying overhead. There were no birds to fly. The walrus and the carpenter were walking close at hand, and they wept like anything to see such quantities of sand. If this could only clear away, they said, it would be grand. Oh, oysters, come and walk with us. The walrus did beseech. A pleasant walk, a pleasant talk, along the briny beach. We cannot do with more than 4 to give a hand to each. The eldest oyster looked at him, but never a word he said. The eldest oyster winked his eye and shook his heavy head, meaning to say he did not choose to leave the oyster bed. But 4 young oysters hurried up, all eager for the treat. Their coats were brushed, their faces washed, their shoes were clean and neat. And this was all because, they hadn't any feet. The walrus and the carpenter walked on a mile or so, and then they rested on a rock, conveniently low, and all the little oysters stood and waited in a row. A loaf of bread, the walrus said, is what we chiefly need. Pepper and vinegar besides. A very good indeed. Now, if you are ready, oysters dear, we can begin to feed. But not on us, the oysters cried, turning a little blue. After such kindness, that would be a dismal thing to do. The night is fine, the walrus said. Do you admire the view? I weep for you, the walrus said. I deeply sympathize. With sobs and tears he sorted out those of the largest size, holding his pocket handkerchief before his streaming eyes. Oh, oysters, said the carpenter, you've had a pleasant run. Shall we be trotting home again? But answer came there none, and this was ghastly odd, because they had eaten everyone. Thank you.
Our next participant is Ashmita Patra of 6B, reciting the poem Phenomenal Woman. Angelo's Phenomenal Woman taps on the themes of womanhood, identity, pride, self-love, and self-acceptance.
Pretty women wonder where my secret lies. I'm not cute or built to suit a fashion model size. But when I start to tell them, they think I'm telling lies. I say, it's in the reach of my arm, the span of my hip, the stride of my step, the curl of my lip. I am a woman phenomenally. Phenomenal woman, that's me. I walk into a room just as cool as you please. And to a man, the fellows stand or fall down on their knees. Then they swarm around me, a hive of honeybees. I say, it's the fire in my eyes and the flash in my teeth, the swing in my waist and the joy in my feet. I'm a woman phenomenally. Phenomenal woman, that's me. Men themselves have wondered what they see in me. They try so much, but they can't touch my inner mystery. When I try to show them, they say they still can't see. I say, it's in the arc of my back, the sun of my smile, the ride of my breast, the grace of my style. I am a woman phenomenally. Phenomenal woman, that's me. Now you understand just why my head not bowed. I don't shout or jump about or have to talk real loud. When you see me passing, I ask to make you proud. I say, it's in the click of my heel, the bend of my hair, the palm of my hand, the need for my care. Cause I am a woman phenomenally. Phenomenal woman, that's me. Thank you.
Well done, Ashmita. Our next participant is Palak Giri of Standard 6E, reciting the poem, O Captain, My Captain, by Walt Whitman. The poem refers to Lincoln's untimely death shortly after his victory in the Civil War.
Oh Captain, my Captain, our fearful trip is done. The ship has weathered every wave. The prize we sought is won. The boat is near, the bells are here, the people all exulting, while follow eyes the steady field, the vessel grim and daring. But oh hark, 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 oh the bleeding drops of red, where on the deck my captain lies, fallen cold and dead. Oh Captain, my Captain, rise up and hear the bells. Rise up, for you the flag is flung, for you the bugle thrills, for you bouquets and ribbon wreaths, for you the shores are crowding, for you they call the swaying mast, their eager faces turning. Here, Captain, dear father, this arm beneath your head, it is some dream that on the deck you're fallen cold and dead. My captain does not answer. His lips are pale and still. My father does not feel my arm. He has no pulse nor will. The ship is anchored, safe and sound, its voyage closed and done. From fearful tread, the victor ship comes in with object one. Exult, O shores, and ring, O bells. But I, with mournful tread, walk the deck, my captain lies, fallen cold and dead. Thank you.
That was a wonderful presentation, Pragya. Palak. Next we have Aditi Upadhyay of 8A, reciting the prose Alchemy of Nature by Raksha Bharatiya. It is a short description of the nature that God has showered upon us in the form of birds, plants, trees, butterflies, rivers, oceans, flowers, rocky beaches, and so on. The word alchemy in the Middle Ages meant the changing of base metals into gold.
To see the world in a grain of sand and heaven in a wild flower. To hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an arm. We instinctively turn to outdoor activities and nature as a way of relaxing and enhancing our well-being. Nature soothes and nurtures.
Nature fulfills and motivates. Nature whispers and commands. Well, are you listening? When I do, it leaves me in complete awe. We have a hibiscus plant in our garden. Every fortnight, a flower blooms on it. Big, bright, and tender. Through the day, it smiles with the sun and dances with the wind. But as evening approaches, it starts to wilter. The morning after, it's withered completely. And by the evening, it falls and becomes one with the earth again. The flower comes to life only for a day, yet it does so in full splendor. Why? Why don't even we live our lives, howsoever short, to its fullest? We saw a tree, bare of all leaves in a cold winter month. We thought its chapter was over, but 3 months passed. Spring set in, and the tree was back to its green majesty once again, full of fruits, flowers, leaves, birds, and life. Why? Why don't even we have the conviction that howsoever things are right now, it will never stay the same forever? Remember, this too shall pass. I repeat, this too shall pass. Spider webs are delicate, yet very strong. A rainbow colors up the entire sky. Water, without a hint of ego, changes its forms according to the dictates of the sun and the wind. When we see a flower turn into a fruit, a caterpillar turn into a beautiful butterfly, we experience the alchemy of nature. We touch it and become gold dust, pure gold. Thank you.
Well spoken, Aditi. Next we have Aditi Sharma of 8A, reciting the prose I Owe You by Jimmy D. It is a beautiful tribute to a mother's unconditional love for her children.
I owe you. When most people look through their wallets or pocketbooks, way down at the bottom, past the credit cards, baby pictures, and green stamps, they usually find a little old dog-eared piece of poetry. I was cleaning out my wallet the other day, and I ran across a bunch of IOUs instead. Some of them 30 years overdue. Funny thing is that all of these IOUs are owed to one person, and I kind of feel like right now might be a pretty good time for an accountant. Mom, are you listening? Mom, I owe you for so many things, a lot of services. A night watchman, for instance, for staying awake nights, listening to coughs, cries, and me coming in too late. You had the eye of an eagle and the roar of a lion, but you've always had a heart as big as a house. I owe you for cleaning services, for the daily scrubbing of the face and ears, and for the frequent dusting of a small girl's pants to make sure she led a spotless life, and for drying out the tears of childhood and ironing out the problems of growing up. Something no laundry could ever do. I owe you for services as a bodyguard, for protecting me from the terrors of thunderstorms and nightmares. I owe you for wet services, completing every lost dog I dragged home at the end of a rope, and for healing the pains of puppy love. I owe you for entertainment that kept the household going through some pretty tough times. Wonderful productions at Christmas and birthdays. I owe you for construction work, for building kites, confidence, hopes, and dreams. Somehow, you made them all touch the sky and the cementing of family so it would stand the worst kinds of shocks and blows, and for laying down a foundation so strong to build a life on. I owe you for carrying charges, for carrying me on your books, for the necessities of life that a growing girl just had to have. And one thing more, I will never ever forget. When there were 2 pieces of apple pie left and 3 hungry people, you were the one who suddenly realized that you didn't like apple pie after all. These are just a very few of the things of which payment is long overdue. The person I owe them to managed by simply doing without a whole lot of things. My IOUs add up to much, much more than I could ever hope to repay. But, you know, the nicest thing about it all is that she marked the whole bill, paid in full, for just 1 kiss and 4 little girls. Mom, I love you. Thank you.
Great job, Aditi. Next we have Pragya Roy of 8B, reciting the prose Tina's 10 Points by Tom Cross. In this piece, the gifted instructor shares his insights on life.
Tina's 10 points. She was 17 and always wore a bright smile. This may not seem that unusual, except that Tina suffered from cerebral palsy, a condition that left her muscles stiff and for the most part unmanageable. Because she had trouble speaking, it was this bright smile that reflected her true personality. A great kid. Most of the times, people didn't speak to her. Why? Oh, maybe it was because she looked different and the rest didn't know how to approach her. Tina usually broke the ice with the people she met in the halls with a big high. The assignment was write the 3 stanzas of the poem Don't Quit. I only made the assignment worth 10 points since I figured that the students wouldn't do it anyway. When I was in school and a teacher assigned a 10-point homework assignment, I would have probably blown it off myself. Tina was in the class when I noticed a look on her face that was different from the normal bright smile. It was one of worry. Don't worry, Tina, I thought to myself. It's just 10 points. The day of the assignment came due finally arrived, and as I went through my expectations were met, as one by one, each student failed to recite the poem. I'm sorry, Miss Cross, was the standard reply. At last, out of frustration and half kidding,
the next one who didn't recite the poem perfectly has to drop on the floor and give me 10 push-ups. To my surprise, Tina was next. She used her walker to come in front of the class and started to recite the poem. She made it to the end of the first stanza when she made a mistake. Before I could say a word, she threw her walker on the side, fell on the floor, and started doing push-ups. I was horrified and wanted to say, Tina, I was just kidding. But she crawled back up on her walker and continued to recite the poem. She completed all 3 stanzas of the poem perfectly. When she ended, a fellow student asked, Tina, why did you do that? It's just 10 points. Tina took her time, forming the words, and said, because I want to be like you guys, normal. Silence fell throughout the classroom when another student exclaimed, Tina, we are not normal. We are teenagers. We get into trouble all the time. I know, said Tina, as a big smile spread across her face. Tina got her 10 points that day. She also got the love and respect of her classmates. To her, that meant a lot more than 10 points. Thank you. Let us now take a breather, a melodious one. Presenting before you the all-done band of XII. Know me back then, Barack comes back to me. In the end, you kept everything inside, and even though I tried it all to the back, but what it means to me will eventually be the memory of the time when I could have had it all, rolling in the deep. You have my heart inside of your hand, and you played it. We could have had it all.
It comes from struggle and hard work. Everything you go through prepares you for the next level. Let's begin the prize distribution ceremony. First, I request teacher Satinder to come upon the stage and give away the prizes for choral recitation for classes 1 and 2. I request teacher Sharan Preet to accompany her. The runner-up prize goes to 1E. The winner is 2E. The respective class teacher is requested to come along with the students of the class on stage. You are requested to come upon the stage. Prizes for choral recitation for classes 3 and 4. I request teacher Soma to accompany her. The respective class teacher is required to come along with the students of the class on stage. To give away prizes for elocution for classes 5 and 6. I request teacher Parvati to accompany her.
Hello? हम सुनिए को फोन करते हैं
company, sir. 8B. Congratulations, Pragya. The second prize goes to Aditi Upadhyay of 8A. Well done, Aditi. And the first prize goes to Aditi Sharma of 8A. Congratulations, Aditi. Thank you, sir and teacher. 9 and 10. I request teacher Kakuli to accompany her. Third prize goes to Bhavya Jaluva of 9C. Congratulations, Bhavya. The second prize goes to Ritika Singh of 10B. Well done, Kritika. And the first prize goes to Rishi Seth of 10A. Well done, Rishi. Thank you, ma'am and teacher. Rogers, to give away the prizes for declamation for classes 11 and 12. I request teacher Rima to accompany ma'am. Lily of 12A. Congratulations, Ariba. The Treasury, Tina ma'am, is requested to join him. The runner-up for the debate is Shreya Agarwal of 12C. Congratulations, Shreya. The winner for the debate is Shruti Singh of 12B. Congratulations, Shruti. Now, the third prize for jam goes to Ariba Razi of 12A. Congratulations, Ariba. The second prize goes to Srijita of 12B. In brown goes to Mashira Afri, Isha Kumari, Rahila Aram, and Ansh Raj. Congratulations, participants. Thank you, madam. For live reporting, I request teacher Satinder to accompany her. Raj of 12A. Congratulations, Kritika. The second prize goes to OM Lakshmi of 11C. Lakshmi. And the first prize goes to Nandana A. Pillai of 11B. Now, I request our chairman, Mr. KPG Nair, to address the gathering.
A very good morning to all of you. Dear faculty and teachers, the vice principals, principal is not there, my dear parents, and also my dear students. It has been amazing, amazing, amazing. A wonderful program organized by English department. Let me congratulate the English department, entire team members, starting from Kakoli, Rina, and down below, all staff, faculty, and teachers. You have done a wonderful, marvelous job. Keep it up. Secondly, if you take all subjects together, I consider that I put it in 3 pockets. One is the literature, second is STEM, science, technology, and mathematics, etc. And third is the history, geography, etc. Now, this literature is concerned, it is like, suppose if you take the human physiology, you have got arteries and veins. Every point it reaches, the arteries and veins reaches every point. Like that, the literature, especially as an English medium school, the English is particularly important, and that goes to each and every point as a communication media, like arteries and veins in a human physiological system. So, and others, you know, maybe because of English medium school, English, I mean, really, we give the importance to English. So, like that, English is very important as a communication media to bring the children smarter every day by day. And I find from yesterday till this time, say yesterday, I was really astonished. The kids who are 3 years, 4 years, 5 years old, they were conducting the program, decently conducting the program, excellent. And today, all the students, they have done a wonderful job. So, that also KSMS is there to develop the leadership. By this way, you can, improve their communication skill, their smartness, their leadership quality, etc., etc., etc. So it's a very fantastic job all of you are doing. Congratulations and keep it up. All the best for the future endeavor. Thank you.
May I now invite the president of our school, Dilpreet Kaur, to propose the vote of thanks. On behalf of KSMS, I would like to propose the vote of thanks. The chief guest, respected Nandini ma'am, has spared her valuable time to witness this event and encourage the children. Thank you, ma'am. Our chairman, Mr. KPG Nair, the motivating and driving force behind all our endeavors. Thank you, sir, for gracing this occasion. Sincere thanks to our Madam Principal and all our Vice Principals for giving us this platform to learn and grow. A special thanks to our Vice Principal, Mrs. Reena Banerjee, and the English HOD, Teacher Kakuli Datta, for their untiring support and guidance. Thanks to all the judges for their expertise and valuable opinion, and teacher in charges who have shouldered the responsibility and ensured the smooth execution of the events. Thanks to Teacher Vinda, Uttam sir, Pradeep sir, and all the office staff for all the help extended. Thanks to the support staff who did all the work behind the scenes to make this event perfect. A big thanks to our audience for being a part of this event and contributing to its success. With this, we come to the end of this fest. I request everyone to kindly rise for the national anthem.